I think it's something you should know about because it's captured America's children. School bus drivers report the kids are talking less about clothes and sports and what Joe did to Jane, and more about
video games.
Video games.
Video games.
Video games.
Video games. Video games.
Video games.
Video games and the cultural effect of having so many young men living virtual lives.
Video games, gaming, whatever you want to call it, interactive breed of media now has a bigger and more prominent role in the modern world. This has led to many questions. Does it affect people by making them violent? Can it help anyone? Can I play? Why are they so popular and what's the point? To understand the effects and the future of video games, we need to start at the beginning. Games like Contra or the original Doom, although these games are old, they do have players wielding mighty weapons, especially guns, against armies of humans, aliens and evil demons. Even in the early stages of the video game industry, these games proved incredibly popular with consumers. This trend has continued throughout the years with an annual franchise like Call of Duty or Battlefield. What's your opinion when it comes to violence in gaming?
Well, what do you mean by violence in gaming?
So, gore, head splitting, shooting.
Well, I think as long as it's done artistically and with reason, there's no real issue with it. And that it should serve a purpose rather than be gratification. Just general things like that, to be honest.
As long as it makes sense to the overall game and the overall gameplay, I see there being no issue. If it makes thematical sense that it should be included in the game, then it shouldn't be an issue. However, there can be stuff that's included as over-the-top violence for the sake of gore because they believe it sells, which is not always the case.
One issue video games face is that the media seem to have a negative view on any game that displays violence. Cases like that of Manhunt in 2003 created a media storms and mass commentaries over people's recreating deadly acts, but do they have a point? Tragic Colombian shooting was a focus point of this within the news outlets, focusing on how shooters played Doom before the disaster.
If you witness something happening on a screen and you understand that you can control that action through what would be the control that you have in your hand, then most people, I would hope, are competent enough to make the distinction between something that's happening inside a rectangular square and something that's happening in reality in front of them.
Despite the media's mostly negative stance on interactive media, video games have developed a worldwide following of hundreds of millions of players playing hundreds of millions of games. A side product of this cannot be ignored is esports. Esports involves people playing a game such as Counter-Strike or Dota. The best players in the world literally play for millions in prize pool money. The highest that has ever been won in Dota 2 was $25 million. Some people don't see the point or appeal of this, while others see it as a genuine dream. Do you understand the appeal of esports?
For me, no, but I'm probably the wrong demographic for esports. When I see a game, I just want to play it. But I can see the appeal of it for younger demographics. Obviously, YouTube is a very popular platform, so is Twitch. And obviously watching them shows is sort of like, it's the same as playing the game these days. Because your mates are playing them, you probably want to watch them as well.
Esports is a fantastic idea. Just look at StarCraft in South Korea. The idea that they can bring essentially a whole nation together surrounding a single game, it's fantastic.
Like all sports, esports hasn't been free from countries and scandals, from rigged gambling to fixed matches. All these events are covered by dedicated channels in Japan and China that have been going on since the early 2000s. Esports isn't a particularly new trend in gaming communities. They've gained mainstream appeal with games like Call of Duty or Overwatch. More recent development in games through virtual reality. Virtual reality, also known as VR, is an exciting new adventure for the entire video game community. Though there are violent games on the commercially available headsets, there's also a vast amount of interesting, fun, non-violent video games. Many people consider VR not the future of video gaming, but a big part of the future in general. Architects, doctors, and even teachers will soon use VR to build, help, and educate.
I don't think that virtual reality will replace our overall interaction with nature and with other humans and other organic creatures. I don't think that will ever be replaced. I think that's irreplaceable. I think that's essentially what makes us who we are. However, I do think that there are definite advantages to using virtuality for a lot of different human pursuits, not just gaming.
Video games growing significant in the modern day cannot be denied, and though yes, some used to be over-violent for the publicity, now they're not much that different. They connect people, they entertain people, they give them a chance to escape. Video games culture that surrounds them is growing, and it is a great thing. Alright, hello, what's your name?
Will.
Alright, so Will, I'm going to ask you some questions about video games, is that alright?
That's fine with me, mate.
Okay, so are you interested in gaming?
Absolutely, yeah.
What's your favourite game?
All-time Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, at the minute Red Dead 2.
Do you think games cause bad behaviour?
No, not at all.
What game are you looking forward to?
The new Elder Scrolls.
What's the best game ever made? It doesn't have to be opinion based, just in general.
Whatever made. Skyrim.
Alright, well that's all the questions I have. Thank you for your time. Are you interested in gaming?
Yeah, to an extent.
What's your favourite game?
Fortnite. Or Black Ops 2 Zombies.
Would you say games are a waste of time?
For children under 8, yes. But then, on the other hand, they need something to do, obviously. But then, why do they need to play it? It's violence and like putting ideas into their head and things like that.
So do you think games cause bad behaviour?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah, that's all the questions I have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.